Welcome back to Free Media. I'm Amber Duke.
And I'm Robby Soave.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced Monday that he is stepping down as party leader and prime minister after mounting pressure from within his own Liberal Party.
Criticism over his handling of the economy and clashes with President-elect Donald Trump have fueled this decision. Trudeau will remain in office until a new leader is chosen. Here's his announcement video.
I intend to resign as party leader, as prime minister, after the party selects its next leader through a robust, nationwide, competitive process. Last night, I asked the president of the Liberal Party to begin that process. This country deserves a real choice in the next election, and it has become clear to me that if I'm having to fight internal battles, I cannot be the best option in that election.
You know, in fairness to Trudeau, who I assume we're about to criticize the ever-living SHIT out of, he has been prime minister for forever, and in a parliamentary system, there's really no other exit but a eventual internal ouster, right? Like, they never retire at the height of like, even Churchill eventually gets ousted, right? There's no, you just stay in power until you eventually lose favor. So he had a good run for his political career. Not a good run from the standpoint of the kind of governance he engaged in.
I love the somber, sad tone of that speech.
Humble.
Oh, poor Justin Trudeau,
Yeah.
so sad. Oh, bummer. But look, this is hilarious. Everyone should rejoice. This was a freedom-hating loser. He deserves everything
Tell
that
us
he
how you
gets.
really feel,
I know,
Amber.
I really do feel that way. But look, what's annoying about the resignation now is that it's happening for two reasons, neither of which are real accountability for the awful policies that he enacted on the Canadian people. One is that he obviously has taken flack from his own party for the negotiations with Donald Trump over tariff policy and border policy and things like that. They're not happy with the way that he's conducted those negotiations. And then the second reason is that he knows he's going to lose, right? I mean, all of the polls show Pierre Poilievre taking over as prime minister and his party winning a majority of the seats. And it's like, okay, Justin Trudeau is trying to save face here. He's basically pulling a Joe Biden if Joe Biden had the cognitive ability to recognize that he was about to get trounced. But then the question inevitably becomes, well, who is the Kamala Harris that's going to replace Justin Trudeau?
The person who's going to fall on the sword. He doesn't want to fall on the sword. He's signing up someone else to do it. There's obviously been a great deal of speculation from our president, Donald Trump, about what he wants Panama Canal, he wants Greenland, and he wants Canada. I definitely think there is merit to at least having a better economic relationship with Greenland and all the value they have. I obviously don't think we should conquer them. Now, if they voted and wanted to be a part of the U.S., that would be fine with me. Canada is not going to become part of the U.S. We don't want to give more electoral college votes to the Canadians, do we?
No, I think it would have to be a territory, right?
Yeah,
like Puerto Rico. Yeah, I don't want those liberals getting a bunch of voting power.
I assumed you did not.
In Congress.
But better relations with Canada would be a good thing. I don't want these tariffs to come to pass because they would, I believe, ultimately end up hurting Americans, having to pay more for higher prices for various consumer goods. And I think a lot of Trump's economic advisors or the people he's listening to right now, like Steve Bessent, like Elon Musk, don't want those things to come to pass either. So perhaps a more favorably inclined toward us Canadian regime will make that not necessary.
Yeah, I mean,
I certainly hope so.
Maybe you get a conservative in who actually takes the border crisis seriously. There's been a significant increase in both illegal crossings and drug trafficking through the northern border. It's been quite clear that Trump has been using the tariffs with Canada and Mexico specifically as a negotiating tactic to get them to secure their side of the border. I wouldn't be surprised if the number comes down pretty significantly or gets removed entirely if, again, a conservative government gets in and decides to take that border issue seriously. We did see also Don Jr. in Greenland this week, apparently, for a visit. So it seems like anything could happen.
Official state visit to Greenland, remarkable. We should touch on the reasons Trudeau is very unpopular with probably a lot of people watching, a lot of libertarians. It is particularly, I think, his COVID policies being incredibly authoritarian. Here in the U.S., we're no stranger to authoritarian COVID policies, but and then also responding responding to the trucker protest, the protest over mandates with what many argued were extremely illiberal, anti-free association policies, going after their bank accounts, financial ability to engage in commerce, all of that sort of thing. Extremely heavy-handed, extremely unpopular with freedom-inclined people.
Definitely, and the Freedom Convoy must feel so justified. It took 4 years,
Yes.
but they finally can declare victory over Justin Trudeau. And then the other big issue, of course, is his spending policy, his tax and spend policies, which has just crushed Canadian businesses and individuals. The monetary policy of that administration has been horrible. Hopefully, again, with the tariff threat looming over, if there is a conservative government that gets into place, tackle the border, cut spending, make sure that Canada is a place where you can have more free commerce and we can all trade on actually fair grounds and have a good time.
Sounds like an agenda for us. More free media right after this.